welcome back to my channel. It's your girl SimplyKay, back with another video. Why are you laughing?
Because you looked at me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl SimplyKay, back with another video. Welcome back. For those of you who are new, thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are back, hey girl, hey.
I don't know why you say hey girl.
I always say hey girl, hey, because there's a little bit of men that watch, but hey, if you're not a girl, what's up? So we are back with another video. Oh, this is my husband, Jerry. Say hello. Hello. He has been on the channel before, way back in the day when we first started, but he is back and he is a part of the budgeting journey, as some of you may know. In this video, we're going to be talking about money in marriage, answering all your questions that you guys left down below on my YouTube videos and my Instagram. So if you're interested in hearing about how we budget, how we manage our finances, who spends more, are you mocking me? All that good stuff, stay tuned. We're gonna get right into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna pull up all the questions. So first we're going to start out with like a little background, because some of you guys may not know if you're just tuning in for the first time. So how long have we been together?
How long has we been together? 4.5 years.
Yes. And how long have we been married? You don't, you can just say
6 months? Has it been 6 months?
Yeah. We got married in February, so
end of February.
And then what do we both do career-wise? So I am a registered nurse.
I am a financial accountant.
Y'all didn't know. Y'all didn't know.
Yeah, I do budgeting and planning for work, which you do for a hobby. I do that at work.
So for those of you who did not know that, he's already good with money. I'm just the one hype about it. So the first question is kind of towards just me, but I mean, you can answer it too because you just start. How long have you been cash stuffing? And was everything hard at first, or did it just fall into place when you started? So I started way back. My mom used to cash stuff like way back in the day when it was just those little kits on Amazon. But seriously, when I started doing this and like doing it on YouTube was last year, actually September 2020. So it's about to be a whole full year that I've been doing this cash stuffing thing, and it was not just falling right into place. I'm still getting used to everything and changing around how I budget and use my system. So definitely is as you go, you get better with it. Yeah,
I've been doing it for about like 2 months now, and I started because I wanted to get better with like my loose spending. Like I would sometimes like just spend over here, spend over there. So I wanted to better my personal budget, and what I would do is I would set aside money from each paycheck to use for spending whatever. But then as I learned more about the cash stuffing, I thought that it made more sense to just take the little money that I set aside for spending and I could just put it in a different envelope and I could budget it out that way, so I can control the spending and kind of like set a mini budget outside of my big budget. So far, I mean, at first I said I would never be caught doing it, but after a while it started to get a little interesting, so it worked out.
Why did it get interesting?
Because you take the money and then it's kind of cool like counting it out, putting it in an envelope. You got to be strategic with it. Like, okay, I have a certain amount of money here.
He was watching me doing it and I was trying to get him to do it. You lying. You want to be like me. Okay, next question. How did you guys start doing your budget and how did it change if it did? Basically, is it the same budgeting as a married couple?
Huh?
Come on, dog.
What is it? What?
All right, let's take it back to when we first started talking about. I'll skip a question. When we first started talking about money, we'll start right there. When did we first start talking about money and like kind of budgeting in a relationship?
So we first started talking about money when we were looking for an apartment together. We were like shopping around, seeing what we could afford, what we couldn't afford, and that kind of taught like, hey, we want to spend this amount, we want to spend that amount. So that's how we started kind of budgeting together.
Yep. So now to the question, how did we start doing our budget?
So we started doing our budget by, let's say we started out with the apartment, we got how much that was, and we just split it in half. And then you pay this amount, I pay that amount. And then as things progressed and we got more stuff together, we basically added it to the budget. First of all, we saw if we can afford it. And if we could, we added it to the budget and we just split it in half. And we just kept doing that depending on what we could afford and what we couldn't afford. So
basically there's nothing too different. It's just obviously when you're single, you don't have to worry about sharing your money and taking your money out to put towards something that you're both paying for together. It's more with the conscious, like, oh, now I have to take this part of my money for our stuff and then still try to have some money for myself. So that's the only thing that's really different about being married is you share your money.
Right, and it's just like, and we still have like separate like budgets. Like, let's say you want a subscription box or something, she still has that, but we basically do for like the stuff we have together. Like we have like cable, well not cable, we have like Hulu TV where we watch TV. If we want something like that, if we want something shared, when we were doing HelloFresh and Every Plate, we added that to our joint budget.
So not too different. It's just something that you have to sit down and talk about, what you both agree on and compromise. So the next question is, are you guys both good with budgeting? I would say yes. I would say we're very similar. I wouldn't say that one is necessarily better or worse than the other, but I would say I'm more paper and planning wise budgeting, and he's more on the like electronic side, but now he does cash stuff as well. Yeah,
I agree that we're both really good at budgeting, but we just budget kind of in different styles.
I tend to obsess a little bit more.
Yeah, you're like the detail, like the physical, have to write it down.
Yeah.
I'm more of just like, hey, type it in, use computer Excel, tying into what I do at work.
So then the next question is, we kind of answered it, but have you and your husband always been on the same page, had the same money mindset when it comes to finances and cash stuffing? So no, with cash stuffing.
I would say no. But I would say with like kind of like money management, we had a little stretch where we were kind of on different pages. Yeah. You were super pay down debt.
Yeah.
Get rid of any debt possible, live like so minimally. And I was kind of on the other side with, I mean, we make a certain amount of money. If we want something, we can get it as long as we're like smart with how we get certain things. So yeah, that little stretch. But I think now we're kind of really on the same page.
Yeah. I'm like more thinking about the future and like how debt impacts us, and I don't necessarily like to add on more debt, but with him I've learned to like think about things like some things might be an exception, but I still do not like debt because we both went to college, we both have student loans, we still have cars to pay off, like we have debt, and then we just got a new house not too long ago. So it's like we have things that we have to pay for. So I think ahead, like, oh, what if something goes wrong? What if this? Like, we need to have money in the account for this. So I feel like I'm more of the worst case scenario thought, and he's like positive. Like, we can do this now.
I think it was like, it's like you like thought like more debt. No, which I get it. You don't want to be in more debt, tied down. But I would kind of think of it, well, it's no interest. If you paid off in this amount of time, it wouldn't be hard to pay it off, blah, blah, blah. And just, I kind of looked at it at that way. And just outside of having debt, I looked at it, well, if we can budget how we want to pay it back over this amount of time.
Yeah. So, this is the question that everyone wants to know. This is a hot topic. This can get a little controversial. Do we have separate accounts or joint accounts?
We have both. Yep. So we have a joint account where all our bills, when we budget, we put the money in the joint account. All the bills come out. If we want something here and there, and there's like leftover money, that's okay. We spend it. Blah blah blah. But we also have our separate accounts. And I think I wouldn't want to not have my own separate account. I think you feel the same way.
Not either.
Yeah, it's just
not because I think he's gonna take and spend my money. It's just like I don't think either. We both agree that there's no reason to. Like, if he asks me for money, I'll give him money. If I ask him for something, he'll give it to me. So it's not like we're like, this is my money, you can't have it. It's just like, it's your own. You get it from your job. we have all our bills paid. If
Yeah.
we need anything, there's no,
Yeah, and like I said, we have all our bills like in this one account. So with the leftover money, I feel like you should have a choice with how you want to spend it. What do you want to do with the money? Like you shouldn't have to come and ask me, hey, can I do this because it's in both of our account? Like, no, go ahead. That's your money. All of our joint expenses are paid for, and we're not like selfish with the separate money. So it just lets you enjoy and kind of have your freedom of how we want to spend the money and budget. Because like we said, like our budgeting habits, and I don't know if it's another question about spending, but they're just a little different. So it just avoids that type of like
by all no means, if you put all your money in one account, that is great for you. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just what's comfortable for you in your own relationship. So I don't think once you get married, you have to get one account. I know many people who don't do that, but I know people who do it and they're very successful. So it all depends on, budgeting is personal. It is your budgeting experience. You can make the rules up. So it's whatever fits for your lifestyle. So the next question was the same thing. So are y'all 50-50 when it comes to handling the household bills? This can be controversial as well.
Yeah.
Especially in our generation.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. And I know a lot of like the guy is supposed to pay the bill, do that, blah, blah, blah. But we both make a good amount of money, and I just feel like it's better off if we just split it, because it makes it kind of easier on both of us. I know some people say, oh, the guy should play. But if you're sitting there and I'm going to work and I'm paying all like the bills and stuff like that, and then you have a job too, I feel like it just kind of a little weird, and it can cause you to think a certain way and maybe have some type of entitlement, like, hey, I paid the bill, blah, blah, blah. And I just think it just makes more sense if we both are making similar amount of money, that we both should contribute to what we want in a house or in certain things, this and that.
I think before we even like started dating, we both were very independent, very already like paying our own bills, doing stuff for ourselves. Like our parents weren't doing any of that. So we're already very independent. So I personally want to pay for my share of things. Like that is just something that's important to me. I don't want to feel like, not like you're being taken care of, but like, why would I put it all on him? Like it just doesn't make sense to do that. Like we're a team, so we're both using everything together. Right. So it's just weird to me. I would not feel comfortable just having you pay everything.
Yeah, equal for both of us.
But some people do split it and do different things. And I think sometimes there's times where he'll pay for more stuff, and then in other areas I'll pay for more stuff, but it's always pretty much even, no matter what.
Yeah, and if you want to do it the other way, where like one person pays for everything, it just, if it works for you, it works. And
it depends on how much you're both getting paid. Like we're very similar, so there's no need for us to really make a divide. So
yeah,
like I said, it's personal. Next question. So kind of all the questions are kind of like similar. How do we budget and how do we come up with our system? So I already said we use the Excel sheet to track our joint expenses. He has his own set of bills. I have my own set of bills. Most of them are like set up automatic payments on our own accounts. And then we both do the cash envelope system. So pretty much those.
Yeah, and like we said before, how we do the joint bills. Yeah, so typically at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, we see what bills we have for the next month, and I tell it to you if it's okay. She says okay, and we go with it. If not, we can try to do something here. Maybe we have to cancel something here, or we have a good idea of every month what bills are coming out, when they're going to come out, so when we need to put money in, how much money we need to put in.
And the next question, do you and your husband plan on having kids if you don't have any already? We do not have any. We have a puppy that is like a child.
Is that a budget question? Is that?
Well, kids cost money. They cost a lot of money.
Yeah, we do plan on.
Lord willing.
Yeah.
But yeah, none yet. Just our little golden doodle. We'll insert a picture of our lovely little child that we already have in dog form. And then these are just some other questions. Who overspends the most? I think we both have our times. I think I do, just because you are more strict with your budget, and I like every day I'm going out to the store to get something. Like I'm not like
going crazy, but I just think every day I'm either at like the grocery store buying something, or I might take a trip to Home Depot or Lowe's and I'm just like buying some screws or something. So I'm more like, it feels good to go out and just buy something that I may or may not need.
And I'm more like, if I don't have the cash, I can't get it. But I do have moments when I go to Michael's that I am swiping my card that was not budgeted. So I try to stay in the house, and then I think I'm better at saying no to people. And I don't care if you understand or not. I'm on a budget. I have debt. Like I say no. I can't come to this party. I can't go out. I can't go out to eat with y'all. I have $5. Like, I will say no.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about ordering food.
And yeah, we both like have moments where I'm just like trying to have some pizza.
Yeah. See, and I would never say no to order food. That's the problem.
Like, I know I can get him if I'm like Chinese.
Yeah, and I never say no. So we both had that problem with ordering food and going out to eat.
And like, I'll just order food on my app and it'll come to the door and he's like, what the heck is that? I'm like, I was hungry. So yeah, I still think that we're kind of even. We both have our times. Then another question, how much would you guys budget for your dream vacation? First, what would your dream vacation be? Mine would be Bora Bora. I don't know how many times I've said Bora Bora. It's expensive to go there. I don't even know how much it is to go there.
Very expensive.
But I would probably say like 25,000.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to do a lot with 20. I think that's high. Yeah, I would think
20. I think it's like 7,000 to 12,000.
Just to go there. Yeah, for like a week. I think it's gonna cost you like 9,000-10,000.
I think maybe more.
Really?
Maybe. So it's like 11,000 for a week long.
Yeah.
It's like 20.
It's a lot of money.
For a dream.
Yeah, I think mine's similar to my dream. Outside of like maybe like do like a Italy, Greece, like a Europe tour.
I like Spain.
But yeah, Spain, all that. Maybe go to Paris, one little trip, just go sightsee, jump each one.
I'm like low key, like I like to travel, but I'm kind of scared to travel.
Yeah.
I don't like being away from home. Like I do, but then I'm like, I'm ready to go back home.
I think it'd be nice to sightsee, see like all like the old like structures, paintings, all that. Eat different type of food.
The food. We like to eat on vacation. Yeah. Okay, so then the last question is, what tips do you guys have for saving money? And I guess we can do like in general and then in marriage or a relationship. You don't even have to be married.
Tips for saving money in general is just budget. Make sure you budget yourself and stay in that budget, because the biggest thing I think that like kills the saving for money is just the spending that you don't even know you're doing. So it's like you can like ordering food here, ordering food there, buying this little thing from Amazon, buying that from Amazon. It just adds up and you have no idea how much it adds up. So if you make a budget and you're strict on that budget and then move all your excess money to some type of lock box where you can't spend it, that would be the best form of saving.
And I think doing the cash envelopes, because my cash envelopes kind of just sit around, like especially the ones I'm just saving up for. I don't go in there and take money out, like, and it's not in my account for me to spend. So I think it's a nice way to take that money out of your account so you literally can't go swipe in your card, because there's gonna be nothing on the card. But definitely make a budget, and like you said with the overspending, something you can do for that is write down. You can do it weekly, you can do it bi-weekly. Keep track of how much you spend. So then at the end of the month, sometimes I like to add everything up and see how much I spent that wasn't in the budget. So then you can kind of see like, oh, I'm spending this much money and I'm not supposed to be even touching this. Like, I don't even have this budgeted out at all. One month I did that and it was like over $500. So definitely writing it down. And then putting a category to everything too, because you can see like, do I spend more money shopping? Do I spend more money food, clothes, like house stuff, groceries? So then you can pinpoint how much money you really should be setting aside for that category, and then you won't go over it because you're allotting enough money to cover it. But yeah, so definitely doing that. Put aside money for savings, just because you never know what might happen. You should always have something in a savings account. Make sure all your basic needs are paid for and budgeted out, and then you can decide where the rest of your money goes. As far as like in a relationship, that's kind of like between y'all to decide and come to an agreement of what you both feel comfortable doing with your budget, but just keep in mind that it is an adjustment from the single life. It definitely is, because sometimes you'd be like, well, I don't want to do that with my money, but it's our money.
Yeah, and I would say in a relationship, like especially like kind of like the starting stages, and just make sure you guys communicate like how much spending, or if like you think you're overspending, just make sure you know, because I know you can get caught into like, we're going out on dates, we're spending, we keep going on dates, we keep spending, and it's getting a little expensive. So just make sure you're communicating with each other. And I would say for like, if you are the one that's majority like paying for it, just make sure you let your partner know, like, hold on, it's hurting my pocket. Don't try to be the big spender. Just make sure you control yourself. Yeah.
Communicate. But like, it's a learning experience. Budgeting is not just this one set in stone thing. You learn as you go. You find different techniques that you might like that other people don't find useful or helpful for them. So it's definitely a live and learn kind of thing, but very important to do, especially in this world. Everything is money, honestly.
And in a marriage, you got so much other stuff to argue about.
And you don't want to fight about money. Oh my gosh, you don't want to fight about money.
So much other stuff to have disagreements and communicate and just have different perspectives on. It's like money is kind of like you do not want to enter that into the equation.
And like, we can't really tell you anything about kids because we don't know about money.
I know, that's
kids,
another.
So that we don't know. Pets, we can tell you to have pet insurance and don't not have the money for emergencies for your pets. Just try to learn as much. There's books you can read about budgeting. There's big influencers that have this budgeting thing down packed. So just get out there and learn, honestly. And yeah, so the only thing that no one asked was like credit cards. That's a big question. Like, are we for or against credit cards? I would say I'm not for them, like, yeah, go get you a credit card. Go ahead, you're gonna get this much money you can spend. No, I'm not about it that way. But I had to get credit cards at a young age, like I told you guys, before I went to college, because I had to take out my own loan, so I had to have credit. So I think credit cards are a good thing when you're using them smartly. Yeah. Like, you can't just be swiping and not have money to pay for it. Like, if you use it, stay between the, 30%?
Yeah, 30% utilization rate.
Stay there. Don't use it just like for fun. Like, use it for necessities and stuff that you can pay back. I don't think that it is a bad thing. I have, I think, 5.
Yeah, so I'm all for credit cards. That was like one of the little districts. So I like credit cards. So the first thing you learn about credit cards is kind of like they're bad, they get you into debt. That's if you don't use it correctly. So just make sure when you get a credit card, just make sure you want to use it within your budget. So the budget comes in. Just make sure if you want to make a big purchase, you budget it out. If you're making small purchases, just make sure it's in the budget and you're keeping track of the money you're spending. So the problem gets in when you use it as like it's the free money card. You just swipe and they give you things. Like, no, you have to pay it back. And then one thing about credit cards is once you do build up the debt, it's harder than you think to pay it down. Like, you think like, oh, I'll just pay it off. No, it gets a little hard, but I love using credit cards. I like to use my credit card more than my debit card, because one thing is I like and we talked about this, even though you can dispute a credit card charge with your bank, I just feel like it's easier to do with a credit card because, debit card. I think it's easier to do with a credit card because it's not really like your money. I mean, it's easy, like it doesn't impact you. So
it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it makes you feel better. You get rewards points. Like, I got a new Apple Watch. I had
yes, guys.
I had 100.
His cash envelopes.
Yeah, and then I was able to get rewards gift cards from my credit card purchases. I used to get Apple Watch and some the new AirPods. So yeah, I just feel like when you use a credit card right, it's really important to have, and it can be really, really helpful. So I'm all for getting credit cards.
I think my main thing of why I am for them is for emergencies, because there's some things that come up that I do not have the money for. Like, there's no way I'm taking that out of my bank account. So that's my number one for credit cards, because you just never know. And then you have to make a plan to pay it back if it's an emergency. Right. But if you're using it wisely, you should already have a plan how I'm gonna pay this back before you swipe.
Yeah, if you don't have a plan, I remember we had to use a credit card to pay for surgery, and we literally came up, before we even used it, we we came up with, okay, how are we going to pay it back? It's 0 APR for this amount of time. We can pay it off then. We can take this amount each check. So we literally planned it out. So that, I feel like that's how you have to treat it. So don't just swipe out of my mind.
That was that Care credit card.
Yeah, it came in
handy. But Taylor, if you're watching, you know we're not using that Care credit no more. Pay it off and be done.
So
yeah, I was surprised no one asked that. If you guys have any more questions or any other videos that you would want us to do, he will make guest star appearances sometimes. He doesn't really like being in front of the camera.
Yeah, I like being behind the scenes a little bit more.
I told you guys I was gonna do this video, so we had to do this video. So that is it. That's all that we have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting us. And yeah, if you have any questions about managing money, budgeting in a relationship, marriage, leave those questions down below and we'll answer them in a future video, or I can answer them at another time. But thank you for watching. I hope that you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.